All right, let's talk about something that's probably happened to you. You ask a super smart AI a simple question, and what you get back is just complete nonsense, right? It's a huge problem. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the most crucial and honestly the most overlooked step in making AI actually work, preparing the data.
Yeah, it's a question that really gets people. I mean, you've got this incredibly powerful AI, you ask it to do something simple, like summarize your meeting notes, and it spits out a recipe for chocolate cake. Like, what? What went wrong there? Well, the answer, almost every single time, isn't the model's fault. It's all about what you fed it in the first place.
You've definitely heard this old saying from the computer science world, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Well, for today's massive AI foundation models, that saying is more true than it has ever been. It is absolutely critical. The quality of your AI's answer is directly, and I mean one-to-one directly, tied to the quality of the data you give it. You feed it messy, jumbled notes, you're going to get a messy, jumbled summary. Or, that cake recipe.
Okay, so to really nail this down, we're going to follow our data on a little journey. Think of it like a pipeline with a few key stops. First up, we've got the validation gateway. Then we'll move on to processing and enhancing. After that, it's final input formatting. And at the very end, we'll see why it's all worth it with the high-quality payoff.
In this quote right here, this is basically our North Star for this whole explainer. It really hits the nail on the head. The goal is reliable, high-quality inputs. And why do we want that? Well, to reduce errors and variability. In plain English, that just means we want to stop the AI from making random, weird mistakes and make sure we get good, consistent, predictable results every single time.
All right, let's jump right in. Our first stop, the validation gateway. Seriously, the best way to think about this is like the bouncer at a nightclub. Its one and only job is to check every piece of data at the door and stop the bad stuff from getting in. This is our absolute first line of defense.
And what's really cool here is that there's no single right way to build this bouncer. You've got a whole toolkit at your disposal. You could use something like AWS Glue Data Quality for automated checks on massive data pipelines. Or, if you need to be more hands-on and interactive, there's SageMaker Data Wrangler. And for total control, you can even write your own specific rules with custom Lambda checks. The main point is, it's flexible. You get to pick the exact right tool for your specific job.
Okay, so our data got past the bouncer. It's inside the club, but it's not quite ready for the VIP lounge. The next step is all about processing and, this is the important part, enhancing it. This is where we take that raw, basic data and transform it into something way richer, way more useful for the AI. It's like turning a few simple ingredients into a 5-star meal.
And here's the thing about modern AI models. They're incredible because they don't just understand text anymore. They're multimodal, which is just a fancy word that means they can handle all sorts of data. We're talking text from documents, sure, but also images, audio files, and even the tabular data you'd find in a spreadsheet. And each one of these data types needs its own special kind of prep work so the model can actually make sense of it.
So how do we actually make the data better? Well, it's a few key steps. First, we normalize it. That just means getting everything consistent, like making sure every date is in the same MMDDYYY format. Simple stuff. Then we cleanse it, getting rid of typos, errors, and any weird junk. Now the next step is super cool. Entity extraction. You can use a service like AWS Comprehend to automatically scan the data and pull out key things, like people's names, locations, or product names. It's like giving your data little smart tags. And finally, you can even use another AI model, like one from Bedrock, to help reformat everything so it's perfectly structured.
All right, we've made it to the final stage of our prep journey. Our data is now validated, it's been cleaned up, it's been enhanced, it's looking good. But now we have to do one last thing, package it up perfectly. Because the foundation model is like a Formula One engine. It's incredibly powerful, but it needs its fuel delivered in a very, very specific way. And this before and after shot shows you just how critical this is. On the left, you've got the before, a raw, messy chunk of text. Maybe it's some unstructured customer feedback. On the right, you've got the after, a clean, perfectly structured thing called a JSON payload. Don't let the name scare you. Just think of it like a perfectly organized digital file with clear labels for everything. This structure is exactly what models on Bedrock or SageMaker need. It's not optional. Without this, the model just gets confused.
So let's recap. We've taken our data all the way from the front door through a cleanup and enhancement process and packaged it perfectly. That seems like a lot of work, right? So the big question is, why? Why does this all matter? Let's get to the good part, the payoff.
And here it is. This is why we do all that work. When you have a strong data pipeline, you just get better results, period. Your model's responses become way more reliable. You see a massive reduction in those weird errors and random outputs. That means you get more accurate answers, and you can count on consistent performance from your AI system. You're building an AI you can actually trust.
And that really brings our journey to a close. At the end of the day, it all boils down to one simple truth. Your AI is only as good as the data you feed it. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. When you think about your own projects, what's the weakest link in your data pipeline?